I'm Michelle Fox from Michelle Fox Beauty and Boss Babes Online, and I am about to put together my 22nd Mary Kay Holiday Open House. As I've been preparing, I've been answering questions from other consultants. What do I do to make sure that people show up, to make sure that it is successful, and that I actually make money over the holidays? And I thought this would be a really good video. So, this is very much Mary Kay specific. I'm getting down to the nitty gritty, and I think that you're going to learn a lot. So, you want to grab a pen and piece of paper and come right on back because you are going to learn tons, whether you've been in for a day or whether you've been in for years. You can always learn from somebody else. So, let's talk. I've got plenty to say. Okay. Once upon a time, when I would put together my open house, I had big expectations and I put a lot of time and thought and energy into it. And because I was just in the process of building my business and because I didn't really understand what my clientele wanted or what how much they were willing to spend, it was really hit or miss. And every year I felt pretty discouraged, pretty overwhelmed. It was sort of, I guess, anticlimactic because there was all this buildup, like I was going to just sell, 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 but it didn't ever feel like that happened. And so if you're in that place, I remember that well. And that can be whether you're new or whether you've been around for a while, it has to do with if someone has helped you see the things that you need to tweak in order to change that, to flip that. Because some people come on and make it sound like having an open house is so simple. You just put everything out there and people come in droves and they spend all kinds of money and it's just amazing. But it's not always that. um I don't want to say it's not that simple because it really can be simple. But if someone isn't showing you and explaining it to you, then it's not always intuitive. It's not always something that you can just figure out on your own, unless you go through the school of hard knocks like I did. But I would like to have you avoid that and just kind of come out of the gate with this knowledge so that you can just have a successful open house right now. So let's start at the beginning. We are going to talk about what do I do in advance to make sure that people know about it and they show up? What kinds of things do I have available for them? What is the day of like? And then what is my follow up like? How do I continue this so that my total holiday sales end up being significant? Um, Keep in mind that this is a process and that your holiday sales are not just the sales that happen the day of the open house. That is sort of like opening day, and they are going to continue right up until really until the new year. So don't think that whatever sells the day on the calendar that you have open house marked, that that's all there is. Don't let yourself get discouraged. Don't let yourself fixate on that day and that dollar amount. That's just the beginning. Okay, that's sort of like the day where you present everything that's available, but you will continue to sell that on through the rest of the holidays. Okay. So, the most important part of all of this is making everyone aware and helping them remember when. So, you want to let them know fairly early, at least 2 weeks ahead of time, when and where it is. And you want to layer those invitations, you want to layer that information, meaning that you want to tell them several different ways at different times even, Back in the day, that meant something in the mail, a phone call, maybe even seeing them in town and talking to them. Nowadays, it means more like mentioning on Facebook, Instagram, then putting it on your Facebook group page, sending them an email, sending them a text. You need to keep putting it in front of them for a whole lot of reasons. The biggest reason is that people are very busy. And because we've got so much information overload, especially at the holidays, our attention span is even shorter than usual. And we can have every intention of going to someone's party or open house, but if we just hear about it quickly one time, odds are we are not going to remember or retain that information. So think of it like this: think of all of the messages in your inbox that are still unread. If one of those was the only invitation you got to something really, really cool and you didn't read it, you don't know about it. Or if you glanced at it, you're probably not going to remember it. Same thing with your Facebook notifications. If it's just something that you glanced at, or maybe you don't check Facebook very often, and if that's the only way that you could hear about something, then it's very likely you didn't hear about something. However, if you turn that around and you are sending an email and you're sending something or you're posting something on Facebook in your private group, and maybe even going live and talking about it in your private group, and you're mentioning it on your business page, which is a public page, and as you're out and about, you're reminding people of it, and you're texting people, and you text them a reminder the day before, that is layering it so that people are much more likely to remember and to be aware. First of all, to be aware and to remember. I can't tell you how many times people have said to me after the fact, after my open house, "Oh my gosh, I meant to go to that. I was in your neighborhood. Just totally forgot." And to me, it's like mind blown. Like, how, what do you mean you forgot? I told you over and over and over. Like, what else do I have to do? But like I said, people are busy. We've got 1,000 things on our mind. Our open house isn't the only thing on their agenda, and it's certainly not the most important thing on their agenda. So we have to make it as easy as possible for them to remember. We keep having to put it out in the forefront over and over to help them process that this is happening. What is it? What's in it for them? Why do they want to go? Where is it? How do they get there? You want to remove any possible barrier. If your house is hard to find, then you need to really spell out the directions or have it someplace that's easier to find. Think through anything that might inhibit people from coming, and think, what can I do to resolve that or to address that. So once I make sure that they know what's happening, when it's happening, where it's happening, I also offer some kind of incentive for them to come, because the thought may be like, "Oh, well, that's all well and good, but why do I want to personally go to your home to buy the products that I can buy online, or that I can just call you or text you and request?" I want them to know that this is an event, that this is going to be different. It's special. And I really make a big deal about the fact that I'm going to have discount baskets that they normally do not have access to. And for me, I have like hot apple cider, and I always have some kind of snacks. And I personally, I will have like a small gift for people that come, because I just want to show them that I appreciate their time, and that also, I've had these customers for years and years. And so it's sort of like my holiday gift to them, but it's something small, just like a purse size hand cream or something like that. So for me to motivate them to want to come, I am pushing the fact that you're going to have access to discounts that typically you would not have access to. I'm going to give you a gift for coming. We're going to have music and refreshments and decorations, and it's a party. Bring your friends, that kind of thing. I want there to be this sense of, oh well, what is this? I want to see what this event is all about. and you build from year to year. So people, since I've been doing this for so long, they know now what to expect and they like it. And I pick up on the things that are popular and I capitalize on that. So I my attendance keeps growing because the things that they like I bring back, and then I figure out something else that they're going to like, and so it just keeps getting bigger and better. So it is a learning experience. There's a learning curve. It's not always going to be perfection right out of the gate. But if you think of it as your opportunity to serve and bless and make their holiday season simpler and easier, and also as a way to show your gratitude for their loyalty throughout the year. If your perspective is more like that, I think that they sense that, and that it's there's more of a welcome feeling. It's more like they want to go because they want to receive whatever it is that you are offering to them. I believe that as they understand that you are making an effort to do something special for them, you are like creating this event for them, that they want to go not just because of what's in it for them, but they want to go because they're honored and blessed and they want to be respectful of you and your time and what you've put into it. So, there's a combination of all of those things. I also encourage them, or at least I mention that it's fine for them to bring friends. This can get a little bit tricky because of the whole, we don't steal other people's customers, but this is how I think about that. In the same way that if someone is at a Mary Kay party and they already have a consultant, our perspective, or at least how I was trained, is that they can purchase at that party. They just won't become your permanent customer. And in the same way, if my customer is out and about doing her holiday shopping and she's with her sister or her mom or her best friend, and she's thinking, oh, I need to stop by Michelle's open house, I don't want her wondering, oh, is it okay if I bring her, and I don't want her to not come because she's got her buddy with her. So I want them to know that it's okay to bring whoever they're with. And then whoever they're with, it's totally up to them if they shop or not. A lot of times they just are there and they just kind of look around while their friend shops, and that's fine. Sometimes they will purchase. If they have a consultant, I'm not going to, pick them up as a customer. So it's not really that significant. The biggest reason why I encourage it or mention it at all, like I said, is so that if my customer's already with somebody, that they know that that person is welcome, but also because the more people that are there, the more it feels like a party atmosphere. And sometimes, especially in early days when you haven't really done very many of them, it can feel a little bit awkward when it's just you and one other person. And they're looking, and it's like really kind of quiet, and they're like kind of looking around like, gosh, am I the only one here? So it helps when they're there with their buddy or their mom or something, and those two are like talking and laughing and interacting and discussing what should they get. It just helps. It just makes things more casual and more relaxed. And then I'm able also to come in and tell me about yourself. Oh, hi, I'm Michelle, whatever. So just the whole thing just feels better. It feels more social. So I always mention that they're more than free or more than welcome to bring guests. Okay. So so that's all what's happening prior to. Now, as far as what am I going to sell or what am I going to offer at the open house, I think there are tons of ideas circulating that show these gorgeous, huge gift baskets, and they are stunning. They are to die for. And I often wonder, wow, do you sell those? Like, that's amazing because I don't. If I put together like a gorgeous $85 gift basket, it's pretty unlikely that I'm going to sell it. And this is why. When it comes to Mary Kay, people are usually coming to buy for themselves because they're not typically going to buy foundation or skincare or lipstick for somebody else, or they're coming for stocking stuffers. So that is something small like hand cream or lip balm, maybe a lip gloss. You see what I'm saying? or it's like a Secret Santa type thing, which if they're buying for a Secret Santa at work, we're talking 20, 25, maybe $30, but not like 85, 95, $100 big old gift basket. So, whereas I used to think that I needed to make these grand, gorgeous, impressive gift baskets, which therefore required a pretty big price tag because you're buying the beautiful basket and the stuff that you're putting in it, and the products are pricey. That that isn't really what they're looking for. So you have to provide what they're coming for. So I have learned that it goes a whole lot farther to have things that are more affordable for like Secret Santa type things. So stuff in the $20 to $25 price range. I have those put together like gifts. And then I also have a stocking stuffer area, things that are just small-ish and low in price. And um I also have things in baskets, like discount baskets. So here's the psychology behind that. There's something about having a basket of random things taken out of their box and say everything in this basket is $5. Everything in this basket is $10. Everything in this basket is $15. It's like then they become like kids in a candy shop. They're kinda like going through the baskets and then they're pulling things out, and it's just interesting that they might, they're more likely to buy a pile of things when it's in a basket called a discount basket than to get their catalog and open up their catalog and say, "Okay, I'm gonna get this and this and this and this," even though it might end up being the same amount. There's something about having it in a basket and saying that's my discount basket, even if like the original price is like $6 and it's in your $5 discount basket, they're not even really thinking about, how much they're getting off. It's just like $5, gosh, what a great deal. And they go through and they're like, oh, okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20. What? I've got four things and it's only $20. There's something exciting and and they are getting a deal and it's easy math and there's just something about it, okay? There's just something about a discount basket. And that I'm not going to put in a beautiful cellophane bag. I'm not going to make a gift bag or basket out of it. I'm just putting it in there for them to paw through. Those are going to be things that they're trying for themselves, or maybe they're using as a stocking stuffer, but they're sort of add on type purchases. That's not necessarily something that was on their list when they came. Things that are on their list might be whatever they need to restock, their Secret Santa, maybe they're buying for their daughter or their mom or their sister. So I will have a couple of fairly decent sized gift baskets. So for example, I might have like a clear proof gift set put together in a basket, and maybe the basket is one of those cases that you can carry like a tote, a toiletry tote that you carry to the shower, something that they can actually use. And then in there, I might have a washcloth or a headband or a scrubby thing, one of those little poofs that you squirt the, body stuff on. And then I've got it where it's fun. I've got the bright green stuff in there. So it's catching their eye. And I might have candy or stickers or something else to make it, extra fun for young people, and then get a gauge from them. How much do they want to spend? And so then I might take out, a couple things so that I'm bringing it down to their price point. And then I'll ask, do you want me to put that in a cello bag? There are tons of little touches that you can do that really impress people. If you're going to provide cello bags, like clear cello bags to put things in, make sure it's a nice quality bag, like with a nice crisp texture. I'll give you some links for where I buy mine. Or if it is a certain shape where it would do well to have the kind that you put on and you use the blow dryer so that it shrink wraps and it's, tight to itself, that looks really nice. Put a bow on that. So there are just little touches that you can add to make it seem extra professional, but also like you're going the extra mile for them so that you're doing, special extra touches for them. But always make sure that it's nice quality and you don't have to spend a lot to have nice quality. I get my things at discount places online or a dollar store or something like that. I get a lot of stuff. if I want it to be holiday-ish, I will buy things after the holidays when it's 80% off for next year. You will find things that you like to use year in, year out. Like, okay, I like to always have holiday coffee mugs, and I like to always have, really nice cellophane bags, this certain size. And so you'll find vendors or places that you will regularly purchase those from. So you will eventually have like a stash of stuff. I have like big, huge Sterilite containers, those big plastic things, full of that kind of stuff. Some other little things as far as like the day of, I like to have stations set up where they can try things. So I might have lipstick or lip gloss samples or eyeshadow or whatever. Keep it simple. I'm not going to have them do a whole facial or something, but just, have a little area with a nice light, maybe a lighted makeup mirror and some samples there. That's kind of fun. They don't always have an opportunity to do that. So that's available. And that's another reason why they want to come in person rather than just shop online. I add things to some of my best sellers that don't cost much and I don't charge for them. So here's an example. Hand cream is a really easy thing to sell. So I'll buy nice looking gloves, but that are cheap, like $2 to $5. And if you can find some that you like, that you're impressed with, then buy a bunch of them. So sometimes I'll go to the dollar store and there are certain kinds that don't look that great, but then every now and then they'll have some that they really feel and look nice. They look like they're not from a dollar store. And so I'll buy a bunch of neutral colors, black, off-white, brown, navy, white, and whatever. And so I'll have like the hand cream with the gloves, and I'll have a really pretty bow, like a wired ribbon bow, and have a whole bunch of varieties there. And then I just charge the cost of the hand cream. And so that again is me serving them. It's like I'm kind of giving them a gift where they get the gloves free, but it makes a really nice gift. And sometimes they'll buy it just for themselves, which is fine. But it is a really, really nice gift to have on hand for holiday hostesses or those unexpected, those moments where somebody gives you a gift and you realize you don't have anything for them. So that's a popular one. Satin lips, I sell like crazy. So I usually find some kind of cute little container like at Hobby Lobby or a dollar store. Every year it's something different, just something small and quaint, maybe like a little candy dish or a trinket, a trinket plate where like you put your jewelry and stuff on your dresser, something small that you get a really good deal on. And then you can put the satin lips in there so that it's, they're getting more than just the product. They're getting a little something extra that they can use again. I decorate with candy. I have candy on the tables. I have candy in the gifts. There's something about that that is just a little something extra that people seem to like. And I always have the limited edition items on display. I don't stack up on them. I don't typically sell a lot of them. What you gonna do? I don't know why. And my thought is if I sell out, oftentimes the limited edition holiday stuff will be sold out, quote unquote, from Mary Kay corporate. But trust me, you've got Mary Kay sisters that bought way more than they need. And so, one way or another, you can probably get it. So, don't panic. Okay. So, I would stay modest in how much of that I purchase. For me, I usually buy one. I buy one of everything so they can see it, smell it, try it, look at it. And then if I need more, I buy it as I need it. And if it's sold out, then I find somebody else that is willing to dicker and deal. Um, I'll provide links in the description of the video to some of the vendors that I go to online to get things like bags and boxes and just all the little foo that I use on a consistent basis. I'm always looking for a deal. You have to watch your bottom line. If you spend all of your profit on all of that stuff, then it's kind of pointless. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you want to bless your customers, but you have to make money. You are a business. You have to make money. All right. Um, During the open house, I like to have a very festive, casual atmosphere. I have music, but I have it turned down kind of lowish so we can talk. I have hot cider in my crock pot, coffee ready to go. I've usually got something for morning, something sweet like pumpkin bread, and then I've got something in the afternoon like cheese and crackers or, whatever. Something simple that they can munch on easily. I have candy sprinkled on the tables, wrapped candy, and people are, for whatever reason, they're more likely to eat candy if it's just kind of sprinkled hither and yon rather than in a candy bowl. So I've always done that, and I go through a lot more candy that way. So I like to do that because there's something about having a chocolate and a cup of coffee that just kind of helps people relax, and it just makes things feel more casual. So as much as possible, I do everything I can to make sure that they are comfortable, that it just feels very, very comfortable and casual. Um, the day of, it's a really good idea to go live as a one more reminder to everybody that you're here. It's happening. Today's the day. If you don't like to be in front of the camera, then have the camera pointing at the stuff. So you are looking in the viewer, but you're actually filming the display. All right. So you are talking, you're live, but the audience is seeing the display on the table, and you're like, hey, today's the day. This is all, look at all the goodies. I'm so excited. Do like a zoom of the refreshments or something. Say, I've got donuts, I've got coffee, I've got gifts for those that stop by. I'm here, I'm ready, I'm excited. Just remind them that it's happening. That is really, really helpful. I will say this, that you have to possibly adjust your expectations because you may invite 50, 100 people, and you will probably only get 5, 10 that actually show up that day, and that's okay. You will have moments where there's kind of a flurry of activity, and then you'll have some time where nobody's there. That is very common. You only have so much control over an open house. Don't worry about it. Okay. If you've done the groundwork, if you have layered the invitation, you have let them know every which way where it is, when it is, what it is, and that you've reminded them, then just relax and enjoy the ones that are there, and know that this is, like I said, this is just day one of holiday selling. It will continue all the way through the new year. So, as I have downtime, I might start texting people that said they were going to come if they haven't shown up yet. So let's say I'm doing it from 10 to 2. It's 1:30, and three people that said they were going to come haven't come yet. I might text them and just remind them or say, hey, you know, um, this is a great time to come. Nobody else is here. Can't wait to see you, or whatever. But, again, they need that little reminder, that little kick in the butt to come. And sometimes they just can't come. They got sick or something else came up, and that's okay. So I'm going to get to that. What do you do with those that couldn't come that day? A couple other things as far as the day of. If I am doing it from 10 to 2 and somebody says, "Hey, I am an early bird and can I come by at 8?" Only if that is something that you are absolutely okay with, like, that you're gonna have everything ready the night before, and you are also an early bird, so you're gonna be up and dressed, and 8 o'clock is no problem for you, then that might be okay. For me, that's not okay. I need the morning to finish getting myself ready, to get my head in the game, to make sure I've got my apple cider in the crock pot, and that I have time to have my cup of coffee. And there needs to be a balance where you are accommodating, but you're not at their beck and call. That they need to respect that it is an event and there are scheduled times. And the more you cater to those kinds of requests, your family will start to really dread having this event because then it becomes, instead of just like one day for 4 hours, it becomes the whole weekend, all day, every day, because you have people kind of coming at all different times. And then you even start to dread it. So keep that under control. If somebody says they can't come during the hours that you have established, then I would say something like this. Well, I that day is really busy for me, so 10 to 2, that's pretty firm for me. So afterward, let's get in touch and we'll figure out another time where maybe we could have like a private showing and you could stop by. Hopefully the things that you have your eye on will still be here. I say a little something to let them know that there's a chance that all the good stuff is going to be gone, that is the event, that day is when they need to be there. Because let's face it, if it was a sale at their favorite store, their retail store, and there was only one day for 4 hours, they'd find a way to get there. So they're just kind of assuming that you are going to, let them dictate what time they can come. But when you start to see yourself as a business professional, then you really need to start taking control of those moments and saying, no, this is when the open house is. And after that, we can schedule individual appointments. So after the day after, or whenever you have recuperated, I contact people who said they were going to come that didn't come, and I let them know what's still available. Ask them if they want to schedule a time to stop by and just one on one. Or if there are several people, then I might even have another open house. So if I had it on Saturday the 12th and I have a significant number of people that couldn't come, I thought they could, but they didn't make it, I might do another one on the 19th because it's already set up. You know what I mean? And I would make it shorter, and, I wouldn't do a whole lot to invite other people. I would focus on the people that, said they were going to come and have it be for them, kind of like a do-over. Um, I also take pictures of the things that I put together that I really want to sell. So if I put something in a container and in a solo bag, I don't want to have to take that apart because then I'm wasting the solo bag and all that. So I'm going to take a picture of it. I'm going to create a photo album, and then I'm going to put that in my Facebook private group. And then I will start posting like either pop-up sales or just straight up leave that photo album in there and say these are the items that are remaining from my open house. Here's a picture, there's the price. Here's a picture, there's the price. And again, they're starting to see that again. So they've gotten all the different invitations. The day of the open house came and went. Then there might have been a do-over opportunity. Now they've got the photo album. And so they're seeing it and hearing it and seeing it and hearing it. And even then, they still might feel like, oh, I can't afford it. So you've got the next big opportunity is after Thanksgiving when everybody's doing their Black Friday shopping. We, of course, do Pink Friday. And so that's where the stuff that I really want to move, I will mark it way down. So that album that I put together, I will like have a slash, through the price that I originally had, and I'll put like a really, a lower price. If you want to have it be like how other people do Black Friday, normally if they shop super early, they get the best deal. So I might have like a really low price if they shop from like 6 to 8 in the morning, and then from 8 for the rest of the day on, have it be, a slightly different price, but still a good deal. So you've got Pink Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. All of those are more opportunities to sell through either what you put together for your open house, excess inventory that you have, things that you thought that were going to be great sellers, but maybe they weren't such a hot seller, or the things that you saw that were really hot sellers that you're like, I'm going to keep this thing going, and then, offer it again. Let's troubleshoot a few issues. One, what do you do if your house is too small? You could use a different space, someplace that you can get for free, like maybe a church hall or a community center. Another idea is just to use the space you have. So use your kitchen table and just put together one of whatever gift ideas you have. So let's say you have the gloves with the satin hands, hand cream, and you have a cute little candy dish with the satin lips, and you've got a $5 basket or whatever. You've got just enough to fill half of your kitchen table, and instead of having people come and go like an open house where you schedule it by appointment. You have a day and people, actually schedule, okay, from 8 to 8:30 it's your turn, from 8:30 to 9 it's this person's turn, and they can come in and they can look at the catalog, they can look at the display, they can order multiples of them, but you keep what's on the table. You're going to need that all day for people to look at, as references. So in that case, they are basically placing orders that day. They're not going to be able to walk out with all of their products unless you've got room for inventory in another room. Then you could do that. You could have all of the stuff put together in a different room and then run back and get what they ordered. But what I'm getting at is you don't have to have space to have it all spread out on tables. You could just have like little examples on a kitchen table and sit down with people one on one, take their order and go from there. So that is a lot of people do that very successfully. What if you don't have very many customers? Well, I have had anywhere from, when I very first started, all the way up to hundreds of customers, and I still only get maybe 12 to 15 people that show up the day of. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. So no matter how many or few customers you have, it's all about communicating to them and making them want to come and really try to get some people to give you a commitment to say yeah that they're going to come. Encourage them to bring their friends. Even if you only have, 2, 4 people show up this year, you're going to build on that and you're going to build on that and you're going to build on that. But keep in mind then that you don't need to buy 2 gallons of apple cider if you think you're only going to have 5 people. So you need to, adjust your expectations all the way around. It's not likely that you're going to have this huge influx of people if you just started your business and you've only invited 20 people. So keep your expectations under control. If you don't have any inventory, you can either use catalogs or have your computer opened up, your laptop, and show them online what's available, or ask your recruiter or director if you could borrow some products just for that day, just as display items. There are ways around these things. But ideally, you want to have inventory that day. The eye buys. When they see how much they get for that price, when they can smell it, they can see it, they can try it, they are much more likely to buy it. That is why we have the whole try before you buy opportunity. People will fall in love with it and they will want it. It's different when they are just looking at it in 2D in a catalog or looking at it online. But if that's the best you can do, that's the best you can do. And it's still an opportunity for you to interact with them. I would still have, a nice pot of coffee brewing and a donut and really make them feel like queen for a day. But if there is any way that you can have actual product on hand, do that. Think about what is left from your kit. You got several $100 worth of products in your starter kit. What is still left in there? Even if you've used them as demos, you could still use that as a display. So, think about that. Talk to your recruiter or director and see how they can help you. So, I'm sure you're going to have lots of questions. Go ahead and ask the questions in the comments. I will personally respond. If we get so many questions that I think another video is required, then we will do that as well. But I will for sure respond to you. I am going to have lots of references in the description of this video. So read through all of that, click on the links and check things out. I've got some vendors that I really get great deals from. I've got product recommendations, all kinds of fun stuff. So look through all of that. So decide when you want to have your open house, start promoting it, make sure that you are layering that invitation, that you're telling lots of people every different way, email, text, Facebook, Instagram, face to face, that you're reminding them the day before, that you're reminding them the day of, that you go live when it's happening. Make sure you're providing things at a price point and the types of things that they're looking for, stocking stuffers, secret Santa type things. Don't get bogged down with the idea that you have to buy a bajillion of the limited edition items that may or may not sell. In my experience, they're not always my hottest sellers. Don't think that what your sales are the day of is all that you're going to get. This is just the beginning, and you're going to keep moving that all the way through the end of the holidays. You've got Pink Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday. Then you can continue into December and have more sales or even a second open house. So constantly be thinking, what can I do next? What can I do next? What can I do next? And every time you do something, it's like another layer. It's like people are hearing it, seeing it, hearing it, seeing it, hearing it, seeing it. And eventually they're going to come to you and buy something. Everyone you know is going to be purchasing holiday gifts. Everyone you know. So make sure they know that you are a resource for them, that you can provide stacking stuffer ideas, that you have secret Santa gifts, that you have gifts for the women in their life. Let them know what the products that you have on hand for men. Men can be very difficult to buy for, so have maybe a certain section of ideas for men. Think through the needs of your people and provide what they need, and they will be very grateful and they'll come back next year. Thanks for your time and attention. I can't wait to read your questions and hear your thoughts. I'm sure we'll have lots to discuss, and I'm wishing you the best holiday selling season ever.